Live stream's just going through. Always give it a minute. There's always a little bit of a lag where you're like, are we live? Are we live? We should be live any minute now. Let me just refresh that. To join. Right, it says it's streaming. I like to double check before we start talking. The event's starting soon. Okay. According to Restream, we are now live. So, I want to welcome everybody to this informative session with Dr. James. My name is Shan Young, and I am the co-founder of SDG Assessment and the Centre for Sustainable Action. This is a family business alongside the esteemed Dr. James here, who doesn't boast too much about being named the top 19 climate advisor in the world by Climate Insider. I think that's pretty awesome because you want to know that you're learning today from someone who knows their stuff. And that definitely is Dr. James here. So I am going to hand over to him for him to share with you some information about regenerative finance. Look in the chat if you have any questions, and I have some questions waiting for you as well, Dr. James. So if I hand over to you just now, and I will be in the background when you're finished.
Okay, Sean, thank you for that very interesting, more or less introduction to myself. Right. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Lowellyne James. I've been involved in quality, safety, and environmental management for more than 20 years. I know I don't look that old, but I've been around that long. However, I have a passion for sustainability. And this project that SDG Assessment is embarking on is a way of closing the gap in terms of regenerative finance. So, just to give you some insight, SG Assessment, we are a measurement, reporting, and verification tool that helps businesses align their strategy, in particular to achieve UN SDGs. And for those of you who are unaware, um, we are right now on track to achieve only 17% of Agenda 2030 UN SDG goals. So, with that in mind, let's understand how regenerative finance could help close that gap. So, as part of our strategic intent at SG Assessment, we see our business evolving along three pillars. And the first pillar being regeneration, whereby we look at collaborating with our sister company, the Center for Sustainable Action, which is a UK-based cooperative, to provide training and support to businesses, entrepreneurs, and individuals about embedding sustainability within their organizations. The other part of this regenerative pillar is regenerative finance. So we have developed a crypto token project, which I will go into more detail with you over the next couple of minutes, And by doing so, we hope to close the 4 trillion US dollar annually finance gap for SDG related projects. The second pillar of SDG assessment is reassurance. And we are not saying assurance of sustainability, but what we are seeing is that through our digital measurement and reporting and verification system, we provide organizations with a reasonable confidence that the claims they are making are true and fair, right? We're not saying that a particular um, organization is sustainable or unsustainable, and we're not certifying anyone. We're just providing that assurance aspect of it. The third pillar in our ecosystem is remanufacturing of waste. Now, presently, that is focused on remanufacturing plastic waste using additive layer manufacturing, better known as 3D printing. So, what 3D printing affords businesses is a process by which they could do micro manufacturing, right? Right. So, rather than taking that waste and granulating it and creating new pellets, what we are doing is that we are taking waste plastic, granulating it, extruding it into a filament, and then remanufacture it into products for use, hopefully at scale. So that is our three key pillars of SG assessment. But today we're going to focus on the token. All right, and all of you are here to understand this concept of regenerative finance. So let's begin. We'll help you understand regenerative finance by providing you with an overarching definition. Secondly, we will explain why SDGA is embracing regenerative finance and how you could participate as well. So, what is regenerative finance? It's an approach that seeks to move businesses beyond mitigation and focus on actively regenerating and restoring ecological and social systems. But more importantly, it involves the use of decentralized finance. Some of you may see elements of it, and those elements are cryptocurrencies and other type of digital assets, right, to align with helping businesses support wider global goals and the planet and its people. Now, why is that important? So let's look at it from a technological perspective. We are in a situation where there are more mobile phones than bank accounts. I do apologize for that little faux pas, but we have people living in places where there's limited running water or potable water, I should say, poor sanitation, but yet they have access to smartphone technology, right? Some of them don't have bank accounts, the majority of them don't, as well as they don't have access to passports as well. So herein is the opportunity. There's limited adoption of Web3 and blockchain for SDGs. Uh, More widely put, there's limited adoption of or focus on SDGs as a strategic tool or opportunity for business. Current banks and institutions are not financing SDGs as they should be. There has been a recent move by large banks, such as Bank of America, to walk away from net zero commitments. There's an opportunity to more or less enter or expand access to capital and particular opportunities for the lower bit of the economic pyramid to participate in the 1.5 trillion US dollar ethical investment market that is set to grow at 21% annually. There's also the opportunity for the sale of tokenized and assets, real world assets such as carbon credits. Potentially, that market is will expand to about 17 billion US dollars by 2027. So there's a fantastic opportunity for um, a token that is focused on sustainable development goals. So how are we going to support businesses with more or less capitalizing on this particular opportunity? One way by which we hope to help businesses benefit from our token is through our proprietary sustainability risk management um, model and framework. So we are going to invest the reserve fund of our token, and we are setting aside 30% of funds raised to create this liquidity pool that will be invested in what we call green cryptocurrencies. Now, these green cryptocurrencies will be taken through and analyzed using our UN Sustainable Development Performance Indicator scorecard. So we have developed a UN Sustainable Development Performance Indicator scorecard, UN SDPI scorecard, looking at all 61 um, indicators that were published by the United Nations in November 2022. Our portfolio, we'll create an index of leading cryptocurrencies that we and projects that we'll invest in as part of this reserve fund liquidity pool. So SDGA assessment level 2 will be used as a benchmarking tool, an analytical framework by which we will identify and list appropriate uh, cryptocurrencies and other projects within which we're going to invest. Now, this is this has its own challenges. All right, so it goes beyond just merely scoring or rating a particular cryptocurrency project based on performance across indicators, because there are numerous challenges with cryptocurrencies. For those of you who are uninitiated, transparency is a big issue in the cryptocurrency environment. Availability of data. Of course, we have the appropriate methodology and the appropriate metrics, but measuring impact could be complex. The other bit that using our methodology will do and the UN SDPI scorecard is beyond merely scoring a particular type of crypto asset or digital asset. We will also ensure that projects are not simply greenwashing their activities, which is crucial for us to maintain the and expand on the liquidity of our project. And critically, the landscape for cryptocurrencies and digital assets is a constantly evolving space, and our scorecard will be regularly updated to reflect any new developments. That being said, there's an opportunity for you to participate in this exercise. Now, in addition to cryptocurrencies and other decentralized finance instruments, we are also, as part of this SDGA.io token project, we also going to mint carbon credits, plastic credits, and biodiversity credits. We are already in discussions with uh, a number of organizations that are interested in tokenizing their existing assets, real world assets on our platform. So Feel free using your mobile phones to scan the QR code and participate in our pre-sale. If you have any questions, do put it in the chat, and I hand over this discussion to Sean.
Hey there. If you could put your camera on as well, that would be cool. I thought you wanted to keep the QR code up. Just while we're chatting for people to have a chance to scan it.
Yeah, I seem to have some problems with my camera, so just bear with me.
Okay.
Voila, the vagaries of technology. I'm
So
back.
I have some questions prepared for you. How
Go
and
for it, colleague.
I'm sorry if I missed it in the presentation. I was busy doing the technological sort of backup stuff and messaging behind that. So if you got a message, it was from me.
Multitasking. I'm surprised, Sean. I'm surprised.
Um, so how do you see SDGA token aligning with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and why is this crucial to investors?
Right, that's a killer question. You floored me, but I will recover. So uh, currently, there is limited um, focus on SDGs, right? And these goals were first ratified by the United Nations in 2015, and the target was to achieve these goals by 2030. It's time for businesses and individuals to begin focusing on having sustainability and sustainable development goals as the core strategy for business, right? So previously, um, conventional strategy was you could choose cost, you could pursue differentiation, or you could focus on a niche. But now that we are aware of our impacts on the planet and the outsized and I should say quite changing impacts that climate change is having on business and affecting the bottom line, far less for the triple bottom line. We need to focus as sustainability as the only source of strategic competitive advantage. So it's a good opportunity for businesses to find and investors to find alpha. So sustainability in our view and research wise is the new alpha, where you could get extraordinary returns by adopting a more eco-efficient and environmentally friendly approach to business.
So then, as this is a session about regenerative finance,
Mm,
what role does that play in a bit like let's say there's some small to medium companies here
yeah.
who have limited budget to invest, what would them investing in SDGA token bring to that supporting that desire of the alpha and becoming profitable through sustainability?
Okay, so there are two sides to this. One is the assessment side, which is a separate conversation whereby businesses could begin measuring and managing um, the alignment towards SDGs using the SG assessment tool, right? On the regenerative finance side, the SDGA token could do two things. And there's a use case that you know of where we have been approached by a agricultural cooperative who were having some challenges with their bank and the transaction cost of converting currency, moving from one currency type to the other. And what our token will be doing will be one being a store of value. So they'll purchase the token, and the token could be used to transfer from a digital or cryptocurrency. So it could go from SCGA token to USD DC, which is a pegged cryptocurrency to the US dollar, and then from there to fiat currency with nearly zero transaction costs or fees. Right?
So as a small to medium business, I would be saying um, basically the transaction fees are quite high for me to move money and operate within the not the decentralized finance field or regenerative finance. So it would be good to hold some of my assets in the SDGA. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Again, for the purposes, and that's just one example, right? Which is low transaction fees and ease of movement within currencies using pegged cryptocurrency, right? So that's one. The other bit is that how there's a return on investment uh, because we're going to be invested in. You're going to have a reserve fund, which the profits from it will be shared amongst token holders, right? And this is all automated. There's no need for you to tally up at the end of the year and work it out. This is all digital, automated, right? So that enhances the value of participating or purchasing the token for an investor, as well as we also will be offering for those token holders that are beyond the minimum 6 month um, threshold, retaining threshold, they'll also get benefits as well, including opportunities to offset your emissions using carbon credits generated from projects that we invest in. So there is a multi-tiered level of benefits that token holders
So what you're saying is a small
could get.
business or impact investor should take the time to follow that QR code and read our ICO document and white paper so
Yeah.
that they can see the extent. Because if we understand our community, and our community is a very business community, but not necessarily in the know about regenerative finance. We have a mix. And so at the moment, we're in the pre-sale of the token. And so we have some people who we know are interested in moving into this area of technology because they know that this is where the future's going, but they might be sat on the fence right now, whether they feel like this is something that they should get off the fence and start investing in this transformative movement, right? So what would you say to someone who is aware that this technology could really give them the alpha in their business? We've met a couple of businesses we've spoken to that realize that the ability to transact cross-border transactions using regenerative finance is and will be a game changer for the future, but it's something that's new and they're learning about it. So what would you say to that person or organization with regards to joining us on the pre-sale, because we're building this and the pre-sale is critical at the moment.
Sean, thanks for raising that point. Yeah, there is that apprehension because decentralized finance and regenerative finance are relatively new concepts. Uh, but what you should the view you should take is a strategic view. So to give you some understanding, um, this year in the Chinese calendar is considered to be the year of the wood snake. And in Chinese mythology, snakes represent two things. One is strategy, and the other is insight. And there are a lot of strong headwinds that will be facing business in 2025. We have tariffs. Yesterday was Liberation Day, where the Americans announced raft of potential tariffs that are going to happen. And you need to, well, individuals and businesses need to future proof themselves against these risks. And a potential hedge against risk, right, will be to focus on sustainability and to invest in projects and products that are sustainable in the long run. And this is one of them. I've just put into the chat our initial coin offering document, ICO document, that details extensively what the benefits are, the investment cliff, opportunities for those token holders who retain the token for a year or more, as well as our future projects are available on our website. So we've outlined our 2025 roadmap, which includes the generation of the SDGA token, which is the token that's going to be used in our ecosystem, as well as the other regenerative finance projects, including carbon credit tokenization, plastic credit tokenization, and biodiversity credit tokenization, which will provide additional income streams that will support and benefit token holders and create value, real value for their portfolios.
And the benefit right now of joining us on the pre-sale so that we can build, we will build it anyway because that's the type of team we are, right? But you know, it would be much better to build it. We have great supporters. I can't even, yeah, I'm so thankful for the supporters we have on board. But I also see this as an opportunity for businesses. And right now it's 0.08 cents for the token in the pre-sale.
Yeah, 8 cents.
Yeah, 8 cents. And then when we mint the token, the price is going to go up. So
Definitely.
that for me would be a point if you're a business that has, you understand where the tide is going and you understand how this regenerative finance piece could really value your business and your operations, then this is a time to jump on board now so that you can get the token at the pre-sale price before it raises,
Yeah, so
basically.
uh, definitely you will be at best more than 10x in terms of your investment. And where will you get that right now in today's market?
And
Not even gold will give you a 10x return.
I
Yeah,
mentioned at the beginning of this meeting, because we only got a few minutes left, that you were named top 19 climate advisor in
yeah.
the world by Climate Insider. Our app and the system we use to assess the businesses that will be put forward to the DAO. And if you want to know what the DAO is, then join us next week because we're going to have a session about the DAO. But the businesses that get put through to this are going through an accelerator process, and our app was named top 60 green fintech app in the world by Hong Kong FinTech Week last year. So you're aligning yourself with people who are building things with solid research base, but also the market has recognized the quality of what we're building because this ties into this question, Llewellyn, and I'm as excited about
Another
this as
question?
you.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
this will probably be the last question because I only have 2 minutes, right? But what is the role of regenerative finance? What role is it going to play in that 4 trillion funding gap? Because I know a lot of businesses in our network are also doing amazing things, but getting funding has been extremely difficult, if not impossible. And so, what role will this regenerative finance solution and regenerative finance play in solving some of the most pressing climate challenges that we have? Just a
Well,
little question.
that's a very, very important question, considering that 8% of all climate finance was funded by the United States, by American companies. There, with the current administration, with their policies. They have walked away from the Paris Agreement. They've walked away from other agreements in relation to wider sustainable development goals. That being said, there's an urgency to close that gap, that $4 trillion gap, and we see it as an opportunity to gain extraordinary, above um, monopolistic profits or returns, because no other token that I know of is exactly focused on looking at investing in green cryptocurrencies, which we'll be focused on, and as well as um, sustainability SDG linked projects specifically, which our token is focused on as well.
So I'm
Now,
sorry, guys, there's not a meme in sight here.
yeah, we're not
No.
a meme token, no.
No, we're a regenerative finance, and that's what this session has been about, is linking your ability to invest a small amount in changing our climate, being part of the climate solution through regenerative finance, and getting on board with a team that are we're multi-award winning. We got we got people recognize the quality, the quality and the research that goes behind everything we do. And so now we're saying we've been building Center for Sustainable Action, our human element, and we've been building the technology with the app, and recognized for both these things. And this is the final pillar of change. Like, we want to make it easy for all of us, all of the smart people in our network that we have, that know that we could use regenerative finance and the SDGA token to help us finance, like, fill that 4 trillion financing gap, like finance projects that we know are sustainable and profitable. Yeah. So do you have anything else you want to say before I get too passionate? Because I know we only had 30 minutes and we're 31 minutes over now, but we will be back next week with conversations about the DAO. So is there anything you'd like to close off on, Llewellyn?
Yes. Firstly, I'd like to thank those who took the time out to listen to this particular webinar, Ask Me Anything event. But before you go, don't forget to look at the source document that we shared in the chat, and feel free to reach out to me, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm quite happy to answer any direct questions, and I look forward to seeing you on another Ask Me Anything event. Okay,
So
so
we'll see you soon, yeah?
see you soon.
Yeah, I know there was an issue with this live stream. It went out in a different area LinkedIn than the actual event page. I don't know why, because it was all linked up, but I have been linking you guys to it. So we'll just make sure we get that ICO document and website to you, all those that signed up anyway. So see you next week, and let's talk.